This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Today it's 9/13/23, show 524. Hey, first, Nick, we got to make a couple corrections. I mentioned the song It's Magic, and I thought that it was Orleans that did it, but and a few of you out there corrected me and said it was America, but you were wrong, and I was wrong. The group was Pilot. They were a one-hit wonder. The song is Hey, 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 It's Magic, you know. So much for my voice. The other correction I got to make, Eli Lilly's drug is not Ozempic or Wegovy. Wegovy is Nova Disc, whatever they're called.
Novo Nordisk.
And that's the drug Ozempic, but in weight loss form. The drug from Eli Lilly is called tirzepatide. They come up with these great names, a.k.a. Mounjaro, which, I don't know, they're going to have to try to come up with another song. Maybe they'll come up with America's It's Magic, but that's not as great a song as the Ozempic song, It's Magic. It just isn't. So I stand corrected on both counts. But in the meantime, the CPI numbers were released today, Nick, and they don't need any correction.
No, the CPI numbers were released today, and the August consumer price index rose 0.6% for the month. That was up 3.7% from a year ago. This number was expected, so it really wasn't a big surprise to the market. Core CPI, which excludes food and energy, increased, I think, 0.3%. and 4.3% respectively, against estimates for 0.2% and 4.3%. So everything was kind of expected here. There was no big surprise. Inflation did tick up. Gasoline, obviously, we know we're paying much higher at the pump, but that doesn't seem to be bothering the markets too much yet. And we have a Whipsaw Wednesday here, Kerry, so we'll see what we get out here today. All
right. So crude oil, I'm seeing the spot price $88.79. It's highest it's been all year long. It's amazing when you drive an EV, you're oblivious to the price of gasoline completely.
Yeah.
I don't think about it, nothing. But look, the CPI, it's grossly understated. Everybody knows this. And, how much faith can you put in these numbers? But the market wants to believe, right?
Yeah, the market wants to believe. And the bottom line is the market expects the Fed to keep rates unchanged at the next meeting, which is on September 20th. So it's just about a week away. And, that's really all that matters. And the Fed is going to keep rates unchanged here because the 2-year Treasury note yield is still below the Fed funds rate. Today, the 2 years trading right around that 5% level. But when that starts to creep higher, that's going to be problematic. But right now, the market don't seem to be bothered by it. This is an options X week, so it's like the Wild West out here this week, up, down, and all around. Today, we've already had a big rally at the start, a big sell-off, and now we're rallying up again. So, just take it in stride.
Yeah, well, like watching the markets, like what we do, the inflation numbers, coming in as expected, but you've got the labor unions kicking up dust now, like the UAW and a number of other unions. I think UPS, they just got a huge raise, FedEx. So the wage price inflation is going to filter into the economy. And therefore, if the Fed does stay true and they can't revise the inflation numbers any lower, they're going to have to raise.
Yes, they're going to have to raise. And, a lot of people aren't thinking that they're going to have to raise. They think that somehow, some way, things are just going to miraculously fall into place. But yeah, they're going to have to raise, or else what's going to happen, Kerry, is we're going to see inflation creep up again. And
Double digit.
Unfortunately, yeah, a lot higher, right? People think inflation is going down for whatever reason, because of that big overshoot that we did have where the Fed kept saying transitory, 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 but now they admit they were dead wrong. And, we'll just have to wait and see. But again, I've been telling everybody on this program to watch that 2-year Treasury note yield for the longest time. So, that's where we are at this stage of the game. Just keep an eye on that. You don't even need a central bank if you just leave, a Fed funds rate basically where the 2-year is. You don't even need a central bank.
Yeah, well, we could have that argument. For 100 years, we didn't have a Federal Reserve. The country grew at record rates and everything was great, but that's in the past for sure. Hey, so PPI tomorrow, you think it'll be in line with the CPI?
I do. I think it's going to be in line. It just seems like every time these numbers come out, they're always Goldilocks numbers. They're always as expected. So I really do think that is going to be the case. But, we'll see what we get. You never know. It's options X. Could be a market moving event. But the CPI, in my opinion, is more important than the PPI because more people follow it. And,
Sure.
We'll see what we get out of the producer price index tomorrow.
All right. So, hey, going back to the tirzepatide and the Ozempic, here's the ultimate pair trade that I just came up with. You buy Eli Lilly and you sell McDonald's.
I like it.
Hey, because the more Ozempic and the more tirzepatide they sell, the less McDonald's they eat, right?
That's right. It could really put a squeeze on their margins and the quantity of food that people purchase. So I would definitely be aware of that. But, there are a lot of people using this drug. It's incredible. That's why the stock price for Eli Lilly is at $600 a share. It's incredible.
And you know why? Because they say that you can lose. I was doing a little research on it when I was checking up on the names and everything. They said that you can lose 16% of your body weight taking Mounjaro, which is better than bariatric surgery, or at least as good.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Because if you can outdo that surgery, which I guess was somewhat popular, but I mean, this drug has taken off. It's taken the world by storm. And I have to say the chart is still, it's getting parabolic. But what I will say is that it can still go higher.
Hey, just think, if you weigh 200 pounds and you should weigh 170 pounds, you pop this stuff. The problem is that if you don't change your behavior, you're going to be a slave to this drug for the rest of your life.
Yes, and I guess that's a good thing as well for the drug companies.
Yeah, not so good for McDonald's. Hey, maybe you're better off with McDonald's. It's definitely cheaper. This stuff is going to cost you $12,000 to $20,000 per year. I mean, obviously there'll be competition coming out, just like there was for Lipitor, for Viagra, but still. Till it goes off patent, which is not for another 12 or 15 years, right? You're basically, it's a sure thing.
Yeah, that is, all of these drug companies, if they could get a reoccurring revenue, and then you got to remember too, there'll be people coming, new people coming along. And this is something where, I think the revenues are going to be strong for quite a while.
Yep, I agree. So the ultimate pair trade, and hey, maybe you could just do spreads or something on it. I don't know.
Well, there's always a trade there. Right now, it's a little bit high on the chart for me, but that's one I'm going to keep on the radar for a pullback or something along those lines. I think, that's one I would definitely keep an eye out for.
All right. I love it. I love it. All right. So, hey, the head honchos, the tech honchos are digital overlords, as I refer to them, are meeting today in D.C.
That's right. They're going to meet in Washington, D.C. I believe Chuck Schumer is setting this all up. And you have CEOs like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundai Pachai, and many, many others are going to talk to these senators about AI. This is a closed session. This is not going to be something that's televised or something that we're going to get to hear what questions have been asked. So this is a closed door roundtable session, so to speak, and we'll see what comes out of it. But you got a lot of conflicting personalities in there, right? Zuckerberg and Musk. I think they were supposed to go in the
cage match,
octagon, right? The cage match.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. You have that guy there with C3 AI, Sam Altman, I believe his name is. He's going to be in there as well. So you got a lot of egos in one room. We'll see what comes out of this. Maybe they'll have a brawl on Schumer's desk.
Oh, that would be cool. I would like that. I'd like to see that. Maybe get Schumer into the cage match too. Right?
Hey, why not? Throw a politician in there. They're all actors anyway.
Yeah, they're all actors on the stage of life for sure. Hey, so gold is pretty much flat today.
Yeah, right now we're looking at a flat gold day. I mean, we're not seeing much action at all in the gold market. And, I always let a look at the dollar. Dollar's upticked a little bit today. It's kind of flat as well. So they're having a little bit of a standoff. I will say this, gold futures still has had a little bit of a weaker time period yesterday. So we'll see if it comes down a little bit more by Friday. We always have to be aware during options X, it somehow always sells off. That hasn't really happened in a big way yet. And you have a lot of support around that 1912, 1913 level.
Mm-hmm. All right. So interesting there. Bitcoin is trading up today.
Yeah, and had a good day yesterday. Bitcoin had a big move yesterday. I'm not sure if it's anything more than options X. Ultimately, though, the weekly chart pattern is setting up for a bearish move down. So enjoy the pop on Bitcoin. If something changes, I'll let you know. But right now, it is getting a little options X rally here. So we want to respect it. But overall, the weekly chart was a bullish failure, which leads to a bigger down move. And now the weekly chart is setting up with a bearish pattern. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But this may hold up for a week or so, maybe or two. But I do think it heads lower. And my level on the downside is around 21,500 to 21,700.
All right. Well, hey, we will see what happens. That is it for today. We'll be back on Friday. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, sign up for one of his trading programs there and see how he's beaten the averages for decades. Twitter feeds are at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Emails welcome, kl@kerrylutz.com. Don't hesitate to write your comments below on the YouTube channel, and we'll try to get to some of them in the next week or so. Nick, we'll talk to you on Friday.
Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you.